Hello and welcome to this special discussion on the wire about UP politics. Everybody's talking about it. Yesterday, a big day for BJP and a sad day for Congress. One of the key leaders, Rita Bahuguna Joshi, who was Uttar Pradesh Congress president for 5 years until recently, until a few years ago, she decided to defect to the BJP. Now, what is going on in UP? Congress is trying to put in place a new strategy where they're fielding a Brahmin chief ministerial candidate from the outside, Sheila Dikshit from Delhi, with all her experience. They're trying to take her, and they're trying to impress the Brahmins in UP. And around the same time, another Brahmin leader, a woman leader, defects to BJP. What sort of impact will this have on the Congress, on the BJP? To discuss all that, we have with us Saba Naqvi, well-known political writer and a television commentator. Welcome to our show, Saba. So tell us, what do you make of what's going on? There's a lot of action suddenly around UP politics, right?
You know, going with what's happening with Rita having left the Congress, I think we have to accept that politicians, people, they stay with forces that appear to be viable. And the problem is that for a long time now, the Congress in Uttar Pradesh has not looked viable, and this is not a state-specific problem. The problem is, I almost feel sorry. It's a national. I almost feel bad and cruel sometimes, saying that Rahul just has not convinced anyone that he can be a future leader. But it's just that there is such an attack. We all keep attacking him, and then we have to carry on. So there is just no convincing. And once in a while a phrase comes out, "Soot boot ki sarkar," and then I think they surround themselves with
a cohesive strategy.
There isn't. I'm afraid there isn't. Not only that, the party has not had any organizational meetings for a year. They've overshot everything. So there is no organizational health. It's an ailing organization. In between all of this, you hire somebody.
You're saying at the national level as well as in UP?
At the national level as well as in UP. And so if we keep the focus on the Congress, is a party that works on emotion. Structurally, they're not at all efficient. They never have. The CWC is full of people who can never win an election today. Old time loyalists. It's been a party where the so-called other people besides the dynasty are gatekeepers to the dynasty. But when the value of the dynasty itself comes down, then
so you're saying the rot is really at the center,
at the top,
which is reflecting in UP.
It's reflecting. I mean, how will people get convinced about the credibility of Rahul Gandhi? That's one thing. I believe that they will now unleash Priyanka Gandhi. But it's the usual same stuff that we've seen.
Will there be a feeling, Saba, among the people of UP, even among the Brahmins, that Rita Bahuguna's move is not, it's not happened in an organic way? You have a right to change your position, your ideology, your party, but it has to happen in a way which is acceptable to the people. It has to happen organically. So one view is that it appears very opportunistic, that the timing of it, etc. So do you think that could also hurt the BJP somewhat? Because of course there is the widespread, the wider view is that the BJP has a psychological advantage, a big psychological advantage in the context of upper caste politics in UP, Brahmins.
After what happened in Assam, if you remember Himanta Biswa Sarma, not only did he desert the Congress, against which he had made certain he went and joined the BJP, but Himanta as an individual is much more of a fixer and an operator and a master strategic thinker and all that. Rita is not of that caliber. But it's just that Rita, we've all seen her year after year sitting in a studio defending Rahul, defending the Congress. It's that. She's not in the league. I mean, there are people who say that Himanta is behind many of the events that are now happening in the Northeast, which are working, he is a person who understands. So he was somebody who came from the Congress, who has been such a great asset for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
So he was a big catch.
He was a big catch. Now on
are you suggesting Rita Bahuguna
No.
is not that big a catch?
I don't think she's that big a catch. First of all, because it's hard to say what is really big when the state itself is so big.
Yeah.
In Assam, you're talking about a much smaller, place. So certainly, I mean, the whole issue of Brahmins again.
He also seemed to have named Rahul Gandhi as
Oh, yes.
somebody with whom he had problems.
Not only did he do that, I can tell you exactly what he said because I also met him and interviewed him.
Yeah.
He said a Congress is a party which is ruled by blue bloods, and the blue bloods decide everything. And then he goes on to repeat a time when he tried to see Rahul Gandhi, where some biscuits were placed there. These are all things on the record. And Rahul Gandhi came there and looked blank. And then before he could eat the biscuits, his dogs came and they ate the biscuits. This is Himanta's version.
Which came in the papers, yeah.
This was a story that Himanta told repeatedly.
Okay.
He told this to journalists. He said this on television after his victory. And he was bitter because he was the right-hand man of Tarun Gogoi, who was a three-term Congress chief minister, the last of the great Congress GCM.
Yeah. Saba, I get that point. But tell me, how would BJP project her now that she's joined Rita Bahuguna, walked over to their side, project her to the public, considering that until recently she was short of, she said everything about Amit Shah, Modi, raising Ishrat Jahan issue, calling them all kinds of things. Now, is that a bit embarrassing, or do you think in the next 2-3 months BJP will paper over that?
I think the greatest thing about the Rita coup is that the BJP has been able to show that the Congress is useless.
Yeah.
Basically, number one.
And then you thought you had a Brahmin
You
strategy?
thought you had a Brahmin, we are going to show you.
Sure.
But about the Brahmins again, which is Uttar Pradesh has more Brahmins than anywhere in the country, because it's not just...
Yeah, Brahmins and Thakurs together about 20%.
Brahmins are 10%, Thakurs are 7.5%. Okay? So Brahmins are 10, and so it's nowhere else are they on that.
So they are a formidable force.
They are a formidable force, and the traditional expectation was that Brahmins would go for the Bahujan Samaj party, but that appeared to be withering away. Then that would they like the old caste consensus, Brahmin, Muslim, Dalit, that sort of a thing. So that question is there with Congress and pockets and all. But frankly, I really don't think the Congress is a player in this round.
Congress is, in any case, not a player.
It's not a player.
Number 4
Yeah.
of the 4 parties.
Number 4. Congress would have, Venu, but Congress
and they
would
got
have.
12.5% vote share in the last assembly election.
Had the Congress been able to be in an alliance with any party, they would have definitely been a player.
So in this sense, Saba, I take what you're saying. So do you think if the BJP indeed has gained some psychological advantage by sending a certain message among the Brahmins that the Congress is not a serious party of in terms of presenting a Brahmin leadership, which is Sheila Dikshit, who's an outsider. If that is the case, if even marginally Brahmins were to sort of shift to BJP following this, then wouldn't Mayawati have to worry, because it would have suited Mayawati if the Brahmins had got somewhat split between Congress and BJP.
I'm not sure yet.
I'm saying more than Congress, it might be Mayawati might need to worry a little.
Possibly, because I at this point it does look that it's going to be between the BJP and the BSP because of the SP having so many internal problems.
Yeah.
So it does look. But whether I still think the BJP's core strategy is going to be built around OBCs. OBCs with Thakurs who are divided seat by seat.
And the party chief is an OBC.
Party chief. It is fundamentally, it is going to be about OBCs. So now the point is, can they also get some Brahmin support? And the reason they would like to do that is because you succeed in making everyone else look unviable. But the question is, in pocket.
And the surgical strikes and nationalism.
And also, you see, if Mayawati picks up momentum, her momentum would be based on a Dalit Muslim compact. Which is now that compact the BJP expects is going to irritate others who will then be so bugged with this conspiracy of Dalits and Muslims,
Yeah.
that they will all unite on their side.
On their
So,
side.
I mean, no, that's how it is. That's how the thing. In that case, will the Brahmins be part of that?
Yeah.
That is the $1 million question. That then it becomes everyone against the Dalits and the Muslims.
I'll tell you why I'm saying this, Saba. I'll give you a very simple number. If you look at the 2012 elections, when there's a four-cornered fight, a small vote percentage shift makes a huge difference to number of seats. For instance, SP, Samajwadi Party got 30% vote share and they got 224 seats. So for every 1% of vote they got 8 seats. Whereas the number 2 party, BSP, got 25 or 26% vote share but got only 80 seats. So their vote share to seat conversion was for 1% vote, they got maybe 3 seats. Whereas SP got 8, So there's a huge kicker to anybody who gets that last mile 3-4% floating, whether Brahmins or whoever. So that is, in my view, I don't know what you think about it.
I think the BJP will.
That's the.
I agree.
That's the critical part. That's a gamble,
I agree, and I also think that there's one more factor that we should recognize about the BJP in this UP election, regardless of whatever, whether their positions are true or they are false or they are just presenting strategies which are communal or that. I'm not judging them right now. One must recognize that because SP and BSP have all had a shot at power, the option of a third, of trying out something new, when the same party is in power in Delhi. There is that whole thinking also, try something new. So, except for the minority community, there is no reason for others not to try out something new in this current climate of heightened communal polarizations which are there on the ground.
Various kinds of polarization.
Various kinds of polarization, and for the BJP the challenge is actually, I was talking to one of them, is actually not to let the polarization get out of hand. It's calibrating communalism which works best for them. It's not an outright
how to dovetail that with the development theme.
It's all of that, and
but various surveys so far, this is pre-surgical strike surveys.
Right.
They all show Mayawati definitely with a lead, right? Over BJP.
I think one of the surveys was showing Samajwadi Party ahead.
Yeah, but not BJP certainly. So BJP has been a bit worried. They're not confident.
They're confident. But what I'm saying is, if the SP is giving away, you see the SP vote bank. Forget the minorities. Beyond the minorities, the SP vote bank is the vote bank that the BJP is trying for. They would be trying for the OBCs, non-Yadav OBCs.
Also Yadav OBCs.
Also Yadavs now.
Which they got in 2014.
And they would be trying for Thakurs. And Thakur's ability to convert is still impressive, but they're always divided seat by seat. They will be divided seat by seat, but against Mayawati. Remember that Thakurs will always be against her. That is one community which will go out of its way not only to. They will be strategic about trying to make sure she does not come into power, because
Yeah, and you feel that the Dalits are by and large consolidating behind Mayawati, following various events. Una.
I think so.
Even in UP, Mayawati being called names by upper caste BJP leaders, etc. So is that a done deal according to you? I mean,
there will be a small section of them who have been approached by the RSS for some time. A section of Pasis and all who would perhaps still have a small vote share with the BJP. But the 2014 election actually marked the greatest Dalit support for the Bharatiya Janata Party in national terms. It reached they got 25% of the Dalit vote.
That was
huge. It was a 10% jump.
And if you remember, you went to UP.
I went to UP also.
Dalit local leaders were saying that in this election we'll vote for Modi. But they were also saying, like in Bihar, that when it comes to state elections, we'll go to Mayawati, right?
There was also a difference that I noticed in villages in Western UP, that the older generation was no question of betraying Mayawati, but many of the youngsters, they also wanted to try a new person, so Modi at that time. But in an assembly election, I definitely think that Mayawati will.
And how much do you think other issues, bread and butter issues like farm distress, back-to-back droughts, government not really aggressively coming forward and giving farm income support, farmers generally in distress, and rural incomes have collapsed. So, will this work against the BJP?
Who will it work against? I don't know, but one community which I'm told, again, this was an RSS person who said, the Jats are actually not happy with the BJP right now.
Yeah, because, you're
So
right.
that is something which we have to explore. The journalists, I myself have not gone. We all remember that in 2014 the Jats were the Western UP. The whole spiral began through them.
Yeah.
They were involved in the riots also, which took place in Muzaffarnagar.
I was told at the peak of the farm crisis, some 8 months ago, somebody told me it was becoming difficult for BJP MPs to even visit their constituencies.
Okay.
Because the Jat farmers are so angry,
So apparently the Jats are ones who are not happy with the BJP after feeling that they own the BJP for a complicated set of reasons. It's also a spillover of the Jats of Uttar Pradesh not being happy with what's happened in Haryana, where the BJP, as you know, has broken precedent and made a non-Jat into the chief minister. That's one thing, and you've seen all the agitations which have taken place in Haryana, and there is a kinship link, very strong, and they're geographically also close. So that's one of the reasons I believe they're not happy with the farm issues, support price, all of this. Now what's
sugar
prices, all of this. So the Jats, it's a bit of a mystery to me because I haven't gone there yet. So now that leaves that they're all saying we will again go back to Ajit Singh.
Yeah.
Now Ajit Singh is notorious for making deals which benefit him. So I don't know what Mr. Ajit Singh will do.
You don't know who he makes a deal with.
You don't know who he makes a deal with. He's supposed to be on the side of Nitish Kumar and Ajit Singh and Congress in this sort of grand secular thing, which has lost all momentum actually.
How critical is Saba, according to his UP election for say Narendra Modi? I'm asking this in a context because the BJP leadership would be worried because there are 3 elections coming up next year. UP, Punjab and later Gujarat around November. And there are worries for them in all these 3 states. So do you think that if BJP does badly, at some level Modi's own supremacy within his party could come down a tad bit?
I don't think so. Not now. I don't think I've ever seen anyone dominate the BJP in the way that he has managed to do. And I've covered the party since before Vajpayee came to power. To see one individual dominate
in
this manner, I've not seen it. So I don't think, and they've done. He's brought them to majority rule.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's one, from Vajpayee having a coalition.
That's why I was careful. I used the word, can there be a marginal decline in his...
I don't think so.
Hold over the party.
No, I don't think that will happen. And I've never seen the RSS also fall so much in line. You remember the resistance to Modi's candidature that came from across the party, across the Parivar. They've all quietened down because Modi is becoming this, if things go well for him, his sheer ambition and determination to be on top, and his own, he's also self-correcting. He is personally not making errors in his speeches and all, like he did at one point. So whether one can judge what he's saying, but one can see that he is evolving and he has decided to be the strong man of India. That's how he sees himself. And that kind of project, it has its impact on other political parties, it has its impact on his own party. So I don't see the BJP right now, unless some disaster takes over, unless there's an economic disaster, is that Modi being challenged by any
not in the near future.
Not in the near future, Venu, unless there's some economic disaster happens and we personally hold him accountable or responsible. I don't see him being challenged.
Actually, you're right. As a leader, he's been very skillful at taking credit for all the good things and distancing himself from semi-failures and establishing deniability in areas where he should. So What's your view on Akhilesh Yadav? Do you think that there is some sense that he's not done that badly? There's not much sentiment personally against him. Is that a sense you get?
That's people, because he's a pleasant enough boy, and he tries to go along, but he's completely powerless right now. So, and he did run a fantastic campaign in 2012, which, I mean, like other people I witnessed with all those balloons and the buses and all of that. He ran a very good campaign. But if you remember, the minute he came to power, all there were sort of some gundas were running around. All the gundas felt empowered because Mayawati is actually much better on the law and order front. She always has been, because her social base is also a victim of these gundas.
Sure.
So it may be for the completely different set of reasons from the way the middle class perceives these things to be. It's also because the patronage networks that the Samajwadi Party has, it involves, they're a very entrenched party that Mulayam Singh Yadav must be given credit for. It's a very entrenched party, and they have strong organization, kinship network and patronage networks that work in informal, favouring people, favouring caste groups, community groups. So what is it all about? It's all about people feeling कि हमको ठुल्ला थानेदार हमारी बात सुनता है, हम यहाँ पे fence लगा लेंगे. He makes a certain lot of people feel empowered, and some of them, so it appears like Gundaraj.
This family fracas that's going on, is it for public consumption or is it
I think
for
it's
real?
it's definitely for real. I don't buy that public consumption line at all.
Okay.
It's definitely real. And
so the problems are with the dynasty there, problems with the dynasty at this center and other parties.
The only thing that I'll tell you, the one thing that at the back of my mind, is what I always think is that when parties start to crack up. Now the Samajwadi Party has been a very formidable player in Uttar Pradesh. They have mostly got most of the Muslim vote, the minority vote, which is 19% of UP.
Last time I believe, as per CSDS surveys, got nearly 60% of Muslim votes.
They always do. So
that's like nearly
the Muslims have always preferred Lalu and Mulayam for a complicated set of reasons. Now the point is, right now, the Muslims would be being told by some people, their votes get divided.
Mayawati is also directly appealing to them.
She's directly.
You come with me, I'll protect you.
The thing is that this whole myth of the Muslim votes tend to be divided also. It happened in Assam.
Sure.
In spite of everything else, people have their...
It's a myth that that any community votes 100% in favor of one party or the other.
Because again, there are local patronage reasons that the SP would have. So now what I feel is that the possibility of a divide is still very much there in the Muslim vote. Which means
will go in favor of BJP, right?
Which means that that SP candidates can be helped and manipulated when you have triangular contests, which is what it's a complicated thing to say, but some people in the BJP are good at managing these kind of contradictions.
Which is why Mayawati keeps saying that my contest is directly with BJP, and Amit Shah keeps saying our contest is directly with SP. So that's where they're trying to.
So because it would help them. And then in that case, for the SP also, it's better to have the BJP in power than to have Behenji in power. So, then there's a funny kind of thing that happens towards the end towards voting day. When people start helping each other out. So we should be sort of prepared for those scenarios also, because there's a blood feud between SP and BSP, whereas BJP and SP actually, for all said and done, they're cut. They can make deals together.
So finally, on present reckoning, what's your gut feel? Seeing various surveys, who's in the lead? If you do the pecking order, who do you think has the advantage today, as of today?
I think BSP does. But I think the BJP also is getting very close, and we just don't know how things will pan out.
And with this, and Congress probably with this Rita Bahuguna getting worse than before.
Congress is really going to come out of this election very badly. It's and I don't know. I really don't know how the Congress is going to face up to this one defeat after the other defeat after the other defeat. They're going to. I just don't know. At what point the Rahul issue will it never be settled?
Yeah. It's a big question.
It's a big question. Yeah.
Asking. Thank you very much, Saba Naqvi, for talking to us.
Thanks, Venu.
That's all we have for now. Thanks for watching.